Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you're here. I appreciate your views. I would love it if you would please to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on post notifications. I very much appreciate that. I am a tiny little channel, but I'm trying to grow. So today, what I'm going to be talking about isn't so much my mental health journey, although I did have a win that I will tell you about at the end, or even necessarily neurodivergent and autism, but something that has the possibility of tripping up anybody who, for whatever reason, has difficulty with social awareness and social fit. So that's what today is going to be about. I have notes again because it really worked out really well to have the notes. And what I'm going to be talking about is faces and bodies. So before I begin talking about faces and bodies, what I want to say is that there are more than just neurodivergent reasons for people to be socially inept or socially unaware. And the reasons that I listed out, and this is by far not a complete list, but why would people in the United States be socially unaware of the social norms within this country? Obviously, the first one is neurodivergences, but they could be from different cultures who have immigrated here. And because they've immigrated here and they came from a culture where the society is different than it is from here, they may have difficulty being aware of the United States society social awareness. Another reason is that they have a physical disability, such as being deaf or blind. This is not to say that every person who's deaf or every person who's blind is socially unaware. I'm just saying that it's a possibility that if a person is deaf or blind, they might be socially unaware. And then another one is ostracism due to a physical difference. And this could be something as simple as the person is overweight and they're self-conscious about their weight, so they are ostracizing themselves, or they're being ostracized by society because they're overweight, or they have other physical differences that cause them to be shunned by society. And I would like to point out here that this has become less of an issue. When I was growing up, people who were physically different were separated completely from the rest of the students in what were called self-contained classrooms. And it had nothing to do with whether or not that person was intelligent. It's just that they looked different, and the idea, the societal consideration at the time was that their presence would make people that didn't look like them uncomfortable. And I'm really happy to say that this is changing, and I love the fact that it's changing. You now see commercials with people who have skin conditions. You see commercials with people who are in wheelchairs. You see commercials with people who have disabilities that are obvious. I did that one wrong. And I'm loving the change. I am absolutely loving the change, because I always thought it was unfair to separate people just because they looked different. So that one is changing. And then there also might be religious or national things that separate people from the general society in America, the general social structure of America, of the United States of America. So these are all things that could cause a person to be socially unaware of what the societal norms are for the United States of America. This is not necessarily a neurodivergent thing. On the neurodivergence, I am a person with autism. My brain works differently from other people's brains. And it is quite possible that people who have never interacted with someone who is autistic, who's watching this channel, might have questions. And if you have questions, put them in the comments, because I'm more than happy to answer some of them. I may not answer all of them, and that has a lot to do with how I interpret your tone when you write it. And I will openly say that I may interpret your tone completely wrong because I'm socially unaware. But, you know, if you put it in a way that is respectful and you are genuinely trying to find out information, I'm more than happy to help you out, because I found that there aren't really a whole lot of people with autism that are talking about what it's like to be a person with autism outside of certain television shows. So, and you really can't directly interact with those, but you can directly interact with me on this channel. So let's go back to the topic at hand, which is faces and bodies. Unsurprisingly, I know this, especially if you've watched my other videos, this will not come as a shock to you. I did not associate with students in school. I did not spend time with other people when I was in school. I spent time in the corner watching people. I spent time at the top of the bleachers watching people. I spent time in the back of the classroom watching people. And I would sit there and study because I knew I didn't fit in. So I would study what was going on, trying to figure out what this magical thing called societal interaction was. And one thing that I noticed was body language. I'm not that great with facial expression. That's part of autism. I'm just not that great with facial expressions. But I can read bodies pretty well from having spent so much time in school, from basically 3rd grade all the way through high school, studying body language. I read bodies pretty well. And it boggles my mind every time I interact with someone who I have learned their body language, because their facial expressions don't match their body language. And I think that people in the Society of the United States have been taught that you hide what you're feeling from your face. But I don't think that it's taught that you hide what you're feeling from your body. So when I talk to someone, their body is saying one thing, but their face is saying something else, even though I have difficulty reading faces to begin with. So it becomes very confusing for me to interact with people, because what I perceive as their facial expression doesn't match what I'm reading from their body language. If someone is bored with talking to me, they're still smiling, but everything about their body is saying, oh my goodness gracious, when can this conversation end? I just need this conversation to end. Or they're sitting there smiling and happy at me, and then later I found out that while I'm talking to them, their body says they're angry, and later I find out they really were angry at me. And it confuses me. And unfortunately, I don't really have a solution to this, because this is a societal thing. This is something that is pervasive in the United States society. It may be pervasive in other societies. I don't have any interaction with other societies on a significant basis. So I don't know if it's the same in other societies, but I can say that in the United States, when you say something, you being somebody who understands how society works and somebody who behaves properly in society, and your face says something, and your body says something, and the three of them could be completely opposite of each other. There could be 3 different points of the triangle on that one. And it becomes very confusing to me and possibly other people who are good at reading body language but not good at society to understand what it is that the truth is. Is your face telling the truth? Are your words telling the truth? Or is your body telling the truth? And it's really difficult to navigate through society when you know that you're missing out on what is actually being intended by focusing only on faces, or only on words, or only on bodies. And I don't know how to put the 3 together. And I don't know if there is a way to put the 3 together. It's just something that's out there that makes it difficult for me with autism and other people with the social unawareness, for the reasons that I listed earlier, to really understand how to navigate through society. And a lot of the issue that I have now with the not being able to go out has a lot to do with severely misreading societal cues. And I have removed myself from those because I don't read them well. So, faces and bodies. It would be nice if there were a way to communicate amongst each other and amongst ourselves, where the face, the body, and the words completely match each other. So that's what I wanted to say about faces and bodies. What I am working on is I'm making these little earrings, and I've got all of the earring parts put together. Oops, got white paint on his black hat. And what I'm doing is I'm going to be dipping these into this acrylic paint, and this is just acrylic paint from Dollar Tree. It's this stuff, but I added water to it to water it down. So I'm using this, and I watered it down so it's a little thinner. And what I'm going to do, I lost a brick, is I'm going to dip these into the white paint and put them up. I hope you get this reference. On a stick. And put that there. And hang them up so they can dry. And that's this one right here. And when I get done with that, I'm going to put faces on them. So today's craft was making snowman earrings. And today's discussion was about faces and bodies and how they just don't match when you're interacting in society. And maybe, just maybe, hopefully someone can come up with a way so that we can communicate properly and communicate efficiently so that all three, face, body, and voice, match. So that's my video for today. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications for my channel. I appreciate you being here. Always remember that it is okay to not be okay. And my win. I almost forgot to tell you about my win. I went out on the back patio without my husband. I went out there on my own. I put together a cat tree and I put it out on the patio so that my little baby bear and mama bear have a cat tree to climb on when they go to the out of doors. And I went out there all by myself, and I'm proud of myself. I call that a win. It's been an awfully long time since I have walked out onto my back porch all by myself. So definite win. I do appreciate you watching. I hope you have a great whatever space of time it is till I see you again. And if you need to seek help, please do so. I am not in any way, shape, form, or fashion a medical or mental health professional. I'm just a person with mental health issues sharing them with you. Thanks.